Micheline, and this is my first vlog. I'm hoping you'll stay right till the end, and then you can give me a little bit of advice or tell me where if you like it, or if you think I should change anything, and hopefully it'll be one of those and not one of those. And I hope to do some more if I get a good feedback. If I don't, then you won't see me again. Anyway, just a little bit about myself. I'm not a young chicken, as you can see. I'm not one of your young vloggers. I just thought I do watch a lot of these little YouTube vlogs, and I just think to myself it'd be nice to see it from an aspect of an older person's point of view, because the one thing that I find when I see patterns and things, and I've seen in magazines, they all look lovely and thin and self-like, and oh that I would love to be that size again. I mean, I used to be a size 12, and until I hit about 40, and then from the age of 40 the weight started putting on a little bit, and I just it would be nice to see what a dress looks like in a bigger person, just to get a bigger person's point of view. So I have been sewing since I was 16, and I sewed quite a lot until about my early 50s, when work just took a hold and I didn't really have the time, because I was working into the evening with the job that I was doing. And one day I just said, right, got to get my sewing machine out again. I'm going to start sewing because I do love it. It's the love of my life, to be fair, apart from the husband and the children, I should say. And so I started sewing again, and the first pattern that I did was, it was a V8636 Marcy Tilton pattern. Now, had I seen this pattern in the pattern book as it is on the pattern cover, I certainly wouldn't have bought it. The one that I did was the purple one, View C. I shall show you all of it closely so you can see it all. Mine was View C, the purple one. Now, it's horrible, isn't it? Not the most beautiful of patterns, and to be honest, seeing as that is a Vogue pattern, yes, it is a Vogue pattern. Vogue used to, I haven't done Vogue for years and years, and they always used to be the top pattern maker. You know, in years gone by, they were very expensive patterns. They were sometimes very complicated, and quite a lot of dressmakers tended to keep away from them. I once did a Vogue dress, and it was beautiful, you know, but it had a lovely, it was made up of lots of little panels that all came up to it sloped up to a high neck, and it had all these panels went down the sleeve, so it was about 7 panels in the sleeve and about 10 panels on the front, and it was absolutely beautiful, but really intricate to do. So I was quite surprised when I saw this front of this pattern and thought, oh, Vogue. So anyway, the fortunate thing is that that wasn't the thing that caught my eye. I actually subscribed to Sewing Magazine, Sew Today it's called, and that is a magazine for McCall's, Butterick, Quick Sew and Vogue, and they show you the patterns made up in some of the in some material. And when I saw this particular pattern made up, it looked absolutely beautiful, and I thought, I've got to make it. So I went and bought some grey jersey, but unfortunately I didn't buy enough, and so I had to contrast it with I contrasted it with some other fabric that I bought at the same time, which is like a lime greeny yellow jersey, and I'll show you in a second. You will also see me wearing it somewhere in this video. It's do you know, I forgot what I was going to say. That comes with old age as well. Not only do you get bigger, but you also start forgetting things. If I was buying a garment in the shops, I'd buy a size 16, but I remember reading on a Facebook site that I'm a member of, someone said, buy the pattern to your measurements, cut the pattern to the measurements that are on the back of the leaflet there, and to the measurements that I should be, it worked out that I should be about between a 20 to 22. So I made a 20 to 22. I can't remember which one it was I made, and it was enormous, so I had to trim down certain sizes, certain parts of the garment, but in the end it actually worked out nicely because I've got a big bust and a big bottom, and I like baggy clothes. I often buy, if I do, although I'm a 16, I don't like it clinging to me, to the bulges and showing every bump and bulge that you've got. I tend to try and get more of a loose fitting thing, and sometimes I've strayed to a 20 and a 22 in a shop to buy, just because I like the way it hangs. So it actually looks nice because it drapes a bit better over my bottom. You'll see in the video that I'm going to show you now what it looks like. Okay, well, this is the garment in close-up. It's got 2 buttons on the collar, which actually, I've got a funny feeling that the Tiltons did the pattern and ended up, like quite a lot of people do, ended up with a loose collar. And it's a bit too loose, so they decided to put buttons on to try and tighten the collar up. But actually, I think it's lovely. It really enhances it. And I've got the 3/4 length sleeves, the contrast, which did worry me at first because I thought it might have made me look like an American university player or something. I actually thought it looked quite attractive, and I think the grey and the lime green goes well together. The stitching I've done is triple row stretch stitching, which is on my sewing machine, especially for stretch stitches. Instead of using a twin needle, it does like a 3-row stretch, does 3 like that. And at the back I didn't do that good a seam there. The next one is Butterick B6164. I liked the style, and the style I went for was the one in the middle, the red one, View C. B6164. It's an easy pattern, and unfortunately 2 things. One was that I didn't have enough material, of the material that I used, and so I couldn't get long sleeves out, and I had to get short sleeves out, and they go up to go down to the elbow. Now, as you get older, one of the places that you want to avoid showing is your elbow here, because when you bend it and straighten it, there's lots of wrinkles there. So that I didn't feel happy with. And the other thing, I'll tell you about the other thing in a minute, but I didn't feel happy about about the arms, and that we tend to look at ourselves from the front, but when if you set up your camera and put it on a 5-second time delay, then go and stand with so that your back is facing the camera, and it'll click and you see what you look like. Sometimes it's not as pretty, so we do see ourselves looking lovely at the front, but the back isn't flattering, and I tend to see, oh, you can see that, you can see the bumps, and I wish I had long, basically, to add it all up, I wish I had a long sleeve. The pattern has little dots at the top round the neck, and darts here. They're what you call open darts, because they kind of fold over and they're left flapping. You don't actually sew down it, you just fold it over and form a little seam along the top, and it makes a flap. And the same was on the waist there. The only trouble was, and then your bottom, your skirt is made into gauze. So if you can see on the back of the pattern, you can see the gauze panels on it. But the only thing that I found is that's very flattering for a young girl, but when you've got a big bust like I have, the fact that you've got open darts there tends to form a bunchy look here, and the open darts underneath, they weren't so bad, but I didn't feel comfortable with these. So what I did was I actually flattened them down and did a top stitch on them to make them look a bit better. Again, I thought, because the other one had been a Vogue, I thought, this is a Butterick, I'll do the same thing, I'll do a size 20, because it says go to the size of your measurement. I did a size 20 and God, it was horrendous. I mean, this was supposed to be a very easy pattern, and I spent more time adjusting it left, right and centre to try and get it to fit. And what I found was that eventually, by taking one bit in and the other, I couldn't get the bust darts are supposed to tie in line to they're supposed to go in line with the seams on the skirt. I couldn't get those to match. I was about, it wasn't much, it was about 1/4 of an inch out, but it was enough to really irritate me. And the back, because it had the same kind of fold over dart on the back, it just made me feel like somebody blown me up on the back with a balloon, and I felt all baggy. Actually, probably to an onlooker it probably wasn't too bad, but you know what we girls are like, we tend to get a bit picky about, oh, it doesn't look right here and it doesn't look right there. So I wasn't so happy about that, and although I will wear it, I don't think I'll wear it. I don't think I'll wear it for. I'll wear it for work rather, not to go out, and I don't think I'll wear it without a cardigan. Again, all I did, I couldn't be bothered. It was actually you lined it, I think, on the inside, if I remember rightly, and I didn't want to do that, so I just made myself a bias facing and sewed the facing on the inside like that, so that it would, I didn't have to do the full facing. The dart, the bust dart, as you can see, it's black fabric, but the bust dart, that's what it looks like, and there's actually a little gap there that goes up the bust dart. You will notice in a lot of my clothes that I tend to like blacks, because black hides the bumps and bulges, and I don't always like plain black. I like to have a black with a bit of a colour, so I often go for something with a bright colour like a pink or a whatever, and these have got little foxes on. I thought it was quite nice cotton. Not a bad little dress. You will see by the picture here, the video here, or even in place of me, you'll see a video of me wearing it, and you'll be able to see for yourself what you think of it. So that's the second one. I did was a Vogue 9149, which looked, again, I was taken by a picture in the Sew Today magazine, and I thought it looked lovely, and the one that I was taken by was view C, which I thought was really nice, but I wanted to do it without that hem hanging down. I wanted it just basically a straight hem, but as you can see, and I hadn't really noticed, the shoulder seams are incredibly narrow, and on that view C, the sleeve doesn't start here, or even where that one starts. It doesn't start there, it starts about there, and I didn't feel that it was kind of coming from there, and I just didn't feel that was very flattering, especially for me. But now and again when I put it on, I think, oh, it's actually not as bad as I think it is, and I'm probably being overcritical, but it was very nice to make up. And the fabric that I used was a polyester viscose, I think, and you'll see the pattern the fabric that I used was polyester viscose. You'll probably see here, somewhere around here, be wearing it just so you can see what it looks like. And I'll tell you about it in a minute. So this is the dress, polyester viscose. It's got a crease in the middle, and it doesn't matter how much I've tried tying it out, I can't get that crease out. I've steamed it out, I've tried all sorts. It will eventually go, I think, but at the moment it's just not moving. Didn't realise it was lined, and I didn't have any lining fabric, which I would have normally done kind of a satiny type of fabric, but ended up using a cotton, which didn't feel quite right. Sleeves, as I say, the collar the shoulder, you see, is very narrow, and the sleeves actually bunch out like that. But actually, when you see it, every now and again when I put it on, I think, oh, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was. Flattering around the waist. Had a bit of bother trying to match the seams up there. Just I wouldn't say naivety, but lack of practice, let's say. But other than that, the fabric is a polyester viscose, I think it is, and it's beautiful. It drapes gorgeous, and you'll see in that video of what it looks like. I was well impressed by that, very happy with it. Probably could do with a little hook and eye on the back there just to stop that gap. I would normally have brought the zip right up the top. I'm not quite sure why I didn't, but it is a lovely dress. So that's the one there that I did. The next pattern I've done two of, and it's a V9202. I seem to be doing an awful lot of Vogues. I'm not quite sure why. I think I bought them all at the same time. And with the Sew Today, you can get a discount off the patterns, and so I can't remember what the price was, but I got it for a lot cheaper than you would if you join their club. You can get them cheaper. So that's what I did. The V9202. I saw this in the Sew Today magazine, and it looked lovely, so I thought I've got to get it. And so the one I did was, again, long sleeves. We older ladies like long sleeves. We've got too many wrinkles on our arms, too many blotches, and you can see covered in I'm starting to get those little brown spots with being out in the sun. And I've got one that side. I've got one that side. Wasn't there before, but now it's suddenly come, and it's just with being in the sunshine. So I decided I'd do view C, and that's view C. I'll take you around the packet just so you can get to see it all. V9202. It's an easy pattern, and it's lovely to do. I thoroughly enjoyed making it. I think I would do it again. I've made two of them, and I think I would do it again. I would love to do a short sleeve one with no sleeves, but you know, we ladies tend to get big back wings as you get older. It doesn't matter how thin you are, you get saggy arms and things, so it's not flattering. So you tend to stick to what's best, you know, what's best to cover up. At least in my case, I prefer that. So the V202, the View C shows you a two-tone thing. I just did it all in one colour. And the first one that I did, I picked this fabric. You'll get to see again in the video what it was. I picked this fabric, and when it first came, I thought, oh, that's awful. This is the fabric, and I thought that's awful. But actually, once, as you'll see in the video, once it's on, it's absolutely gorgeous. In fact, we went out yesterday for Mother's Day to take my husband's mother out for a meal, and my husband looked across at me and he said, "You look gorgeous." He said, "I love that dress." And I said, I got the camera out, my phone camera out. I said, "What did you say?" He says, "I love that dress." I said, "Oh, I'll have to tell all the ladies on my vlog." So anyway, it's a stretch fabric, and I got it on eBay. And I think it was reduced or something. It was one of these things where you could buy 3 meters for about £10 or something. And I've top stitched in 2 places there, just turned it over and top stitched, and what I do is top stitch twice so that you don't get any curl up on it. Overlocked the back seams, top stitched along the waist there, and top stitched up the bust seams on the outward seam. I've pushed the seams that way towards the side and then top stitched there. Same on this side. Very flattering, very nice. You know, it doesn't, you don't wear a belt with it, and I just felt really comfortable with it. I have made a scarf, a matching scarf, and I also wear it with a matching scarf and also with a black scarf, and that, again, it looks lovely. Don't think I've shown you a video of me with a scarf on. Perhaps I have, I don't know, but it is nice. The only thing that I can tell you is if I get the pattern on the front, the seam goes up, there's a curve upwards, and on the back, if I take that one there, view C there, on the back it curves downwards, and I just wondered whether it felt comfortable because it makes it low back, a low well, I wouldn't seam. It's not really a waistline because it goes below your waistline. It's a low seam, and it just didn't. I don't know if it, probably again. I think it's just nitpicking. I think we girls, when we're sewing, we start to get very nitpicking about what we do, and I just wondered whether it was just not right having such a low seam. But I just thought it was very flattering, and you will, if you haven't seen it already, if I haven't put the video up, you will see it, and it's very nice. I made the same pattern again, but the next one was a fail, so you'll find out why. The next pattern that I made was the same one. It was a V9202, that one. Again, the same one, version C, but it was all in one colour. Again, my favourite black, but this time it was teamed with red tulipy flowers of some sort. And I bought this fabric from my local Boys, called Boys in our town, and it was only £2 a metre, so I can't complain really. I happened to see that it was in this, we have a market stall, an indoor market, where the lady has a massive stall, and she has all sorts of fabrics, and she actually stocks this as well. Slightly more expensive, but I think it wouldn't have been, it's possible that this was cheap because it was seconds, and I didn't notice these seconds until I got the garment put together. And the garment put together showed that I had holes, little holes that were on the back, that appeared on the back, and they appeared round the bust line, just by the bust seam. But I thought, well, I'm not going to bother, because I'm not going to worry too much, because these dresses are mainly for work, maybe it's with a cardigan. No, not many people are going to see it. I made it long sleeved. It looks absolutely lovely. It looks nice. I'm really happy with it. And I've even put pockets in, which I'm thrilled about, because I think pockets are fantastic on dresses. It just means that you've got, instead of, you know, constantly doing that, you've got somewhere to put your hands in pockets. I just think it looks nice sometimes. What I don't like about it is this fabric, and what I don't like is, it looks lovely, and you will see in the video of me wearing it. It looks lovely, but the backing is white, and it's got, I think that the jersey bit is a touch of polyester fibres in it. But watch what happens when it stretches. And there, if I do that, and you see? Now the problem there is that I could be wearing a black bra, a black vest, a black petticoat, or black anything, but where you have the swellings on your body, for example the bust and the hips and round your belly there, when you wear it, it tends to show through the white, and it makes it look as if you've got nothing on underneath. It looks like somebody would say, she's got no underwear on, what's she doing? Well, I would have underwear on, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't, I don't feel it's flattering, especially there. It just seems to stretch a bit like that, and it goes white. And you might see a glimpse of it when I'm doing the video of me wearing it. It's I just don't think that's very flattering. So it will be another work dress, plus the fact it's got the holes in it, which is a bit annoying. It'll be another work dress. It will probably never go outside on an evening out, and be worn just either with a cardigan or where no one else but the workers can see. I'm going to stop there. I have made a few more garments, but I think I've probably gone on a bit too long. And so if you like what you've watched, please, again, give a thumbs up, subscribe, or tell me what you think of it. And hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.